And welcome to our weekly show about Bay Path football. And Coach Giampa is with us again tonight. We are excited to find out about what the preview is for the week to come. Coach Giampa, great to see you again. Every Thursday or Friday has become a staple for us, talking a little bit about the program that you guys are building, and super exciting for us as a school, but more importantly for you guys as a team. So first and foremost, how are you, and how are things going this week?
Doing well. We've been working hard, an extra day of practice. So kids have been putting in the time. And, finished up today about 20 minutes ago, and we're ready to go.
Outstanding. Hey, coming off of the big win, 50-8 over Abby Kelly is always it's nice to see, but sometimes those type of wins, they don't always produce everything that they should in the end. But I was very proud to see how the kids played the first half. It was an amazing first half of football. And you were able to do a lot of things because of the score, not the least of which get a lot of kids in, get some playing time for some of the younger kids, which is nice. But talk about that game a little bit and how that gets you ready for moving forward.
Yeah, it was good to see us execute. I mean, we got there late. So we gave ourselves 15 minutes to warm up. So we started a little sluggish, you know, um, which was about right. And then had a great second quarter, and then we were able to rest everybody for the second half going into this week. So it was good to see the young kids get in. I mean, those kids work hard. They kind of in football, it's tough. You kind of get a thankless job sometimes as a JV guy or a younger guy, and our kids have done such a good job. They come to practice every day, and they work their tails off. So to give them an opportunity to get into a varsity game at a Friday night under the lights. Those kids deserve it as much as anybody. And, scout team is a critical part of football. And you can really see especially with programs that have more numbers, teams that can do a more complete scout team. But it's also a thankless job because they're going against the same kids all the time. They're not supposed to do too well. We want them to do well. In a perfect world, I'd want our scout team to dominate our starting group all the time, and then, give your starting guys stuff to work on. But at the same time, there's a lot of frustration. So I'm really excited that they got to play. It's a great chance for us as coaches to kind of see, the second and third layers of what we have. We're always evaluating, always seeing. So who can pull off certain plays in certain situations. And it's also a good chance for the older kids to kind of, see what it is like to be back on the sideline on a Friday night watching the game and not being part of it, hopefully motivating them to, continue to do what they've been doing. But look, on a team, everyone's important. I think varsity, we have 77 kids. So 1 to 77 is incredibly important. Every kid deserves an opportunity when the opportunity is appropriate. So I was really excited for the younger kids to get a chance to play last week.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. And quite frankly, that's great. I love to hear that. As a past head coach, it is important to build that capacity within the program when opportunities do present themselves. So great job there. And the kids got that real game relevant experience, which is also good too, especially against varsity competition. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the preparation for tomorrow's game, Blackstone Millville. I believe the last I checked, they were 6-1, same record as our team right now. And what a matchup on paper. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, they're a really, tough physical football team. They line up, they want to run the ball. They don't really hide what they're trying to do. They're very physical up front. They've got some really good players that play really hard and really well. And they've always been a good matchup for us. I think we started playing them 2 years ago. And now, 3 years later, playing them again to cap off the regular season. So it's going to be a tough game. I think they're going to challenge us. Like you said, they're 6-1, so they fully expect to play well. And these are the kind of games that you want to be in. These are the games you want competition. You want to test yourself every week. So we're very excited to play them. I'm sure they're very excited to play us. I'm sure they're in the same boat that we are, looking at each other on a Saturday to kind of finish off the week. So hopefully we're ready to go. I think we had a good week of practice in preparation for them, but You never really know until the ball snap. So we're excited. We're ready to go. We hope.
So let's talk about that for a second. How do you juice your boys up coming off of a 50-8 win? How do you maintain the intensity, the focus? There's no doubt that I think both teams know that there's playoff implications at stake here. Obviously, I think on either side of the coin, that's going to add a little more flair to this game. There's no doubt about it. Kids will hit a little harder and have a little more purpose behind their step. But that's always a hard thing to do with a high school athlete. Sometimes is to maintain that. So what does Coach Giampa do to ensure? And I get it. I've got to watch you on the sidelines. I'm interested to hear this, and so is everybody else out there. What do you do to say, listen, guys, we take it as one game, the next game, but there's some big. This is the competition we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, my belief is you just got to be hyper focused on the current snap, right? So the play that's right in front of you, that's the play that you're focused on. So on Monday, we're hyper focused on the weight room. We want to be the best lifters and squatters and deadlifters and benchers that we can be. Then we flip gears, we watch film, and we want to be the most studious guys that we can be watching film, watching what they do, how do they play, how do they align, where am I going to be, who's the kid I'm going against, just being hyper focused in that moment. And then that continues every day. Tuesday, we want to be hyper focused on whatever we're doing on Tuesday. We want to be hyper focused on Wednesday, hyper focused on Thursday, hyper focused today. Every day, you're just worried about what you're doing right there, because I'm not a big believer in, looking ahead, because you can't, there's so many things you can't control. You might think that the kid you're playing against is the greatest kid ever, and then first snap of the game, you dominate him. And vice versa. You might have watched a kid on film and think that, hey, there's not much to this kid, and then he beats you up because you're overlooking him. So, what I preach as much as I can is just being hyper focused on what we're doing right now. Right, you can't control a lot of things. There's a lot of variables that are out of your control. Playoffs are an entire world away from us right now. We're not thinking about them. We're not worried about them. Again, there's a lot of things you can't control in the current playoff structure and format and points and how where you're seated. So as far as I don't worry about it, because it's out of my control. So it's not something that we can think about. We got to focus right now. I just sent our guys off, and they should be hyper focused on recovery, right? So they have a team dinner tonight. They're going out, so they'll be together. Hopefully they are fueling themselves up. They get to bed at a reasonable time, and then we wake up, and then we worry about kickoff or kick return, and then we worry about our first play on offense or defense, and let it roll from there. You can't, it's not there's no such thing anymore in football as, in Massachusetts high school football, the adults have really made their presence known in terms of everything that's going on. So, we don't worry about it. We let the kids deal with what the kids can deal with, and then we'll play whoever, whenever next, later on. But right now we got a really good opponent who really wants to beat us. And, we got to go there. It's might be their last home game. I don't know. So, we're very focused on what on being successful tomorrow. And then after that, we'll let the algorithms and the adults at the table decide who plays where and where goes who. And, we'll be down to do whatever, but we got to be focused on tomorrow first, and that's what we're going to do.
Spoken like a hyper-focused coach, and I love that. And I'm probably going to talk about that in my weekly email to the staff. I'm going to steal that from you, Coach, because I think that hyper-focus is what makes us all successful. What we can control, what we can't control, and how do we lay that out for everybody. So congratulations on that. And that's a real big part of your overall success. And I love that you break it down to that level to help these kids build their own capacity on and off the field. So well done there. Hey, so what time can we expect this game to kick off tomorrow? You know what? We'd love to see some fans in the stands over at Blackstone. I think it's important. I know I'm going to be there right around the 50-yard line with you guys, and looking forward to the opportunity to watching the kids play.
Yeah, the game's at noon tomorrow at Blackstone Millville. The field is right next to the school, so it's right across the parking lot from the school. So game kicks off at noon, and we hope to see everyone there.
That's it, man, right there. Coach Giampa, thank you so much for joining me, man. Always a pleasure to talk football with you. Let's take it one step further. Always a pleasure talking about learning with you, because that's what you're doing each and every day. You're helping these kids become the best athletes and students and people that they possibly can be. So good luck, everybody out there. We hope that you guys can join us on Saturday, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Join us over at Blackstone Millville. Until then, good luck, Minutemen. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. See you guys tomorrow.